Hi, Chris Marks joining you for the final video in the series on mindfulness. I appreciate you joining me if you were able to these past 2 months. If you haven't seen the prior videos on mindfulness, I recommend checking those out. This will all make more sense, but this will be a great standalone video as well. So either way. The first video I introduced what mindfulness is, which is being intentional about our attention and being fully present and alive in the moment. I introduced the concept of having 3 parts to mindfulness. First, yourself, being mindful with yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your words, being mindfulness with others and our interaction with others, and being very intentional about spending time with those we care about. And then this series, or this video, excuse me, I'm going to talk about your interaction with your environment. So we have no way to escape our environment, right? So we're always going to be an active participant, one way or the other. We might be on autopilot, just skating through life and just hopefully not getting into any accidents along the way. Do not recommend living that way. The other extreme is being fully mindful and fully engaged in the here and the now, what's going on in our environment. And we probably drift somewhere in between that. You've got to be mindful of what's going around in your environment so you can focus on the task at hand and be safe, right? And so for me, one of my personal intentions for this year is to definitely be more conscious of my speed. I personally have chosen to not listen to the radio. I haven't had anything playing in the car unless it's very long drives, and I'll listen to an audiobook or whatnot. But I, like to have silence when I'm in the car, even without my kids. With my kids, it's easier to hear what's going on and be attentive to them and that relationship and be mindful there. But when I'm driving, I like to focus on what's going on, be very conscious of my surroundings. So that's just one example and one opportunity to maybe practice mindfulness in your environment. So we also want to look at our physical space. Do we have more things and material possessions than we need? That's part of our environment. Lots of stuff means possibly clutter and just more to take care of, more to clean. Is that something that you can scale down? There's lots of places, great worthy causes to donate to. Maybe you can sell some stuff, make some money. So I'm not encouraging to go all Marie Kondo, if you know who the minimalist, person is, that talks about just being very, simple with your things. And, if you do want to do it, I love kind of going through every so often. I get motivated to look at my closet and think, does this spark joy? Is the Marie Kondo method of determining whether or not to keep an item. So, and maybe you want to go through that. Look around your house. Are things sparking joy, or are they just giving you grief? You have no reason to hang on to stuff if they're not bringing you joy and not, especially if they're causing you grief. So, there's another tip, kind of just looking around, workspaces to the more physical things we have around us, which I'm super bad about Post-it notes. I use Post-it notes for every little reminder, but it can get overwhelming to see all these notes. At the same time, it's very gratifying to throw them away, but figuring out just a very organized way to have reminders set up, utilize calendars, utilize electronic organizational tools. Lots of different things you can do with your physical space that you control. But then thinking about the rest of the environment, there's so much that really is not in our control, but we can control our reaction to those things, which comes back to being mindful with ourselves, right? But think about the environment that you're putting yourself in. Think about the movies that you're watching, Facebook. So I mentioned the last video that I've taken I made the personal decision to stay off Facebook and Instagram for the next year, possibly forever. I'm guessing that'll probably be more likely in my personal case. But look at maybe taking just a week off from Facebook and just keeping those distractions out of your life. I think Facebook's a wonderful thing when used appropriately and used as a resource and used as a sense of entertainment. But there's a lot of junk out there, and there's a lot of pressure to compare yourself to others and other people's situations, and it's impossible. It's a battle you'll never win. I can't say I was always the best about that. You know, it's tough to look at these beautifully, you know, flawless pictures that have been filtered, and there's all sorts of apps out there that can do all sorts of crazy things, and it's just setting ourselves up for unrealistic expectations. And so I'm not trying to be hardcore about telling other people, you know, do that. That's what I chose for me. I gave some serious thought and contemplation around it, but that might be one other thing to do to help remove those distractions from your life that keep you from being mindful and being present. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your mindfulness on my mindfulness videos, and look forward to hopefully crossing paths. I'm Chris Marks. I am a yoga instructor here in Toronto. If you ever like to join me in class, would love to have you. If not, check out Peaceful Warrior Yoga on YouTube. With that, have a wonderful day. Bye.